Hi, you guys. This is Lita here again. And if you read what it said on the title is Upcoming Events and More. Okay, we're going to talk about a little bit about everything tonight. Um, I am so excited about a webinar that I am trying to get going. And it's going to talk about how we feel about ourselves as women, as actually African American women or Black women, how people view us. Um, do they view us in a light that we're positive, we're we're worthy, we're important? Sometimes we don't get that. So what I want to do is I want to start a cheerleading session just for you guys. And maybe you have thousands of them out there, but I'm going to make mine special, and it's going to be particularly pertaining to you. And we're going to talk about your relationships with other people. We're going to talk about your relationship with yourself and how important it is for you to have such a wonderful relationship with yourself if you can't be or if you can't love anybody else. Okay. And I think our love for others should start with us. And I want to get kind of deep in there, and I want to share some stories of my own with you guys. Um, so that I can get you guys to connect um, with what we have to see in society, how things really are in society when it comes to us. Um, Sometimes it's hard to actually like really visualize us doing those things, paying attention to our bodies, paying attention to us, knowing how we feel at times, getting the right people in your life that can help you or guide you through that. And that's what I want to try to do. I want to give you some tools that you can work with. I want to leave you at the end with a pledge that you can write, type or whatever, and put it up where you can look at it and constantly meditate on it to realize that, you're more than what everyone says you are. You guys have to take back your magic. You know what you do, and we're proving ourselves every day how we are needed, how we are worthy. I mean, just that we're worthy in everything that we do. Um, and you need to people need to understand that anger doesn't always come from situations that have happened um, around us. Most of the time, anger comes from situations that happen to us, and we do not know how to react. So we lash out in anger. We say things in anger. So I want to kind of get into how we can work that. I'm going to kind of let us work on that as individuals, and um, how we can come to a point where, I don't have to be angry. I don't have to be mad. I don't have to. Let me do this so I can see myself, because I'm like leaning over to the side. I don't have to feel like I'm not worthy, that I'm not important to people, that I'm not just an inconvenience, or that I'm not relevant until someone else validates my relativity. I want us to realize that we are here. Okay. We build these communities all the time, and I know we're big in building communities and building situations, I mean tribes and all that. But in reality, really, it only takes a couple of people to come together and have enough love for each other, to support each other, to be there for each other. The jealousy, the all of that is not even necessary, you guys. None of that is necessary. None of it. None of that is necessary for us to feel that way about each other at all. We all on this earth together. We all can thrive. We all can be prosperous. We don't have time for all that extra stuff. We really don't. And so I want to show you that. I want to tell you about competition. I was on a post and I was talking about competition when the community is working together and making things happen. You don't have to compete against another person to do that because we're all doing the same thing. And I guess they got it mixed up with business. Business, you can't compete in business. But when you're building a community, you don't have to compete because we're all on the same team. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's going to be better than the other. You just want to build together. And because we have an issue with building together and we need to compete with each other, I don't get that. And I know in tribes in Africa, they do the competing thing, but they're competing for a specific situation or thing. We don't have to do that because we're trying to build. When you're trying to build, you don't need to compete. When you're trying to build your community back to a safe place for people to go, what's the competition? There's none. So I want to teach us, I want to talk about being competitive toward each other. Why is that so important that we have to outdo each other? And why is it that we think in our minds that we walk around with our nose up in the air like we're so much better than the next sister when we don't even know what that sister is going through? We got to stop that. We definitely got to stop that. You don't know what goes on in my household. You don't know if I have some serious situations going on. So I try to smile and I try to be happy with anybody. It doesn't matter. Um, but you got to be careful. You just got to be careful when it comes to a lot of decisions we make when we come with friends. When you notice that your friends are acting kind of funny with you, um, they're not your friends. They're not. And I tell people all the time on my You Are Loved podcast that I do. I tell people all the time, um, I have three friends, literally have real true three, maybe four at the most, friends that I really confide in, that I talk to, that I tell things to. Other than that, I don't have friends. I have people that I associate with. Friends have a deeper meaning. And everybody don't need to be in your business. And everybody don't need to know your business. Okay? When I come on here and I expose a lot of things and you guys see a lot that's going on in my life because I'm sharing that with you. That's because I want you to know. Okay? I want you to know that I'm not perfect. I want you to know that sometimes me and my son don't jive. That's an old word for not get along. We don't agree on a lot of things. Okay? Um, we have our situations that we deal with. I can't sit here and pretend like I'm perfect. I'm not. As a mother, um, I've made some mistakes on some things. Um, I made decisions that I thought was correct at the time. Not to say that, I didn't try to correct them later on, but at the time they were major decisions I had to make. And I made them. But we're here. We're alive. We might not be as healthy as we want to be, but we're here. Um, and I have to live with that. And you have to live with that too, but you can't live in it. It's done. It's over with. Okay? And you got to find the time to heal from whatever hurt you. Believe me, take it from somebody who knows. I had so much going on with me, and I didn't realize it. I did not realize what I was suffering from until it actually happened. I was clueless until I was actually physically diagnosed correctly with what I was going through. I had no idea. I had no idea that I couldn't stand for people to walk up behind me. I didn't know what that meant, that I was jumping constantly all the time, that I had sleepless nights. I had no idea. I was clueless of what was happening to me, that I had terrible relationships. You know, not all of my relationships were terrible. I don't want you You sound like, oh my God, she just was a walking. Uh, no, I wasn't. I had relationships, but I just couldn't grasp what was in those relationships for me because I was just like living, just doing, you know. I didn't realize that that relationship that I was in was not what I should have been in. But I was so wanting to be loved. I don't even know if I wanted to be married. I just wanted to be loved. Because the marriage came later down the line. But I just wanted to be loved, I guess. And the people that I was picking to love, they weren't in it for love. But I had to see that. I had to realize that. So I came to a point where I said, enough. I'm not going to keep doing this. And I basically just stopped dating altogether and concentrated on other things in my life. My education, raising my son, because he was back and forth to Louisiana. He was back and forth here, back wherever I lived at, he was back and forth. And trying to just find me, just trying to find me. And because of that, I wound up in situations that were like, what the? Did you just do that? Did you just associate yourself with that? I found myself doing that on a constant basis all the time. Like, come on. And then I realized, you know what? I got to stop. I got to stop. And when I stopped, that's when I realized, you know what? I got to get a grip on myself. But I was still suffering. I was still the mental, the emotional, all of that was still going on. And I had no clue what was truly hitting me. I was clueless. And what was really devastating my mind and my heart and me in general, I just didn't know. I went to doctor after doctor, VA after VA, VA after VA. And finally, I got diagnosed with bipolar this and all these different things when all together, all it was, not all it was, I don't want to make it sound like the final thing. I was dealing with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from a military sexual trauma that happened to me while I was stationed in Panama. And I've told the story many times. I've told the story on my blog talk show. I've told the story on my You Are Loved show. I've told the story over and over again, and it doesn't change the fact that it impacted me. It affected me. It took me to a whole nother level. And I was lost. And I was stressed. Okay? And I didn't know how to handle it. And luckily, I am still here because there were times when I did not want to be here, when I felt like a failure, when I lost a job. And when I lost that job, I was not able to pay my bills. There was even a time when I was homeless. So I talk about all of this because I want people to understand we have to go through some things in life. And let me tell you this, life is what you make it. What I realized is when I got out the military, being under such a structured, disciplined mindset and coming out into the world where everything is just like right at you and you don't know which way to go and how to do things and you're just crawling. You're just trying to see where you fit in, how you're going to fit in. Okay? And when you've been through that already, it's scary. It's scary because you're looking for so much more to help and to guide you when you didn't. I was out by myself. I wound up living, when I got out the military, I wound up moving to Kansas City, Kansas. Okay, I have a sister that was at Fort Leavenworth at the time. She was working for, she was in the military too. And we were like, we were in two different counties, but we were close enough where I could drive back and forth. And I moved there. I don't even know why I moved there. Because I did first was going to live in Atlanta. That didn't work. That didn't work at all. That was just not the place. But I wound up in Kansas. Kansas was very nice. I met some wonderful people. Wonderful place to live. The area I lived in, Wyandotte County. Um, the church I found a church I went to. Me and my son went to. I wound up. He was in a good school. We were in a good neighborhood. The nine great everything. Job. I had a great job and everything. But I was suffering. I was going through and didn't. It was clueless to why I was going through. I didn't know. But when I got to I left there. I left a good job. I couldn't say, let me tell you something else that happens. And I don't know anybody else can relate this, but I've heard that other people, other veterans, relate to the idea that I couldn't stay still. I had to travel. Every 3 years, I was moving. Every 2 to 3 years, I was moving. I didn't know what direction I wanted to go in, but I needed to move. And I would move every 3 years. So I moved from Kansas, from getting out the military to Kansas City, Kansas. Then I turned around and moved to Michigan. And then I turned around and moved to Tennessee. And then my last move was from Tennessee back here to Louisiana because I just couldn't stay still. And I was about to move again until I met my husband. When I met my husband, I wound up staying longer. I've been here, oh my God, for 20 something years now, 25, 26 years, something like that. Yeah, 23. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be about 20, almost close to probably 30 years I've been here. And this was like the last place. But guess what I'm about to do? I'm I'm ready to move again. I've been talking to my husband. He's retired. It's time to move. I just told him, I said, it's time to move. It's time for us to go. Been here too long, and he's ready to go too. So I'm looking forward to that move. Um, so that's what I want to kind of get you guys a kind of heads up on what we're doing with the webinar. And oh my God, Lord, I got some work to do. I just thought about that. I got some serious work to do. I just added some more stuff onto it. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to, but I did. Okay, so that's the upcoming event that we're having. It's March 22nd. If you want to be part of it, I want you to RSVP. Email me at Salita B. McCall to tell me that you want to be part of it, and I will definitely send you the information for the webinar. It is absolutely free. It's not going to cost you anything to come. And I want to be able to, you guys, to interact with me, talk back to me, what you think, how you think. I mean, I want to know all of that because I just think it's so important that we stay grounded. And I'm not taking away from other people's version, but I look at my world and then I look at other people and people that are in my world or people that are around me, and I hear some of the same things about how people feel about each other, how we as Black women feel about each other. And it's an ongoing attitude that we have to do some adjusting with. I think it's an ongoing attitude that we definitely have to adjust with. I'm not no relationship expert. I promise you I am not. So mm, don't think I'm gonna talk too much about relationships. I will probably cover some stuff on relationships, but I'm not a relationship guru at all. And I don't want to sound hypocritical, and I don't want to sound like um, that I know a lot about relationships because I've had some, and they are not all been good. And but I guess we can kind of touch bases a little bit about relationships, but I'm not going to go into it unless you want to, and you ask me a question, I can get you an answer to it. But I am not far from a relationship person. Um, you know, I can base everything off of mine. That ain't a good answer. That is not a good answer. Okay, I'm just telling you, that's not a good answer. Um, but I can tell you the basic things of a relationship. What is what we should expect out of a relationship and what you shouldn't expect or what you shouldn't tolerate. I don't care who it is. Because we have to, and we have to realize that as women, especially as Black women, after all, as women, we don't deserve to be treated any kind of way. I'll tell you this, what I'm not, and I'll tell anybody that. I'm not a bitch. I'm not a diva. I'm not none of those things. To me, those are negative words, and I am not neither one of those. So when you call me out of my name, I feel offended, especially if I've never called you out of yours. If I've never called you a bastard, why are you calling me? Okay? It's a question. If I've never called you a bastard or MFer, why are you calling me bitch? Because that's the category that goes in. That's not something, and my friends are not my bitches. They're not. They're not. Okay? They're actually my friends that have names that their mother and father has given them. And that's what I call them by. So a lot of things we do now, I can't get with it. Maybe I'm a little bit old fashioned, but I can't get with it. I can't. I'll call you honey sweet baby, but I'm not gonna call you bitch. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen with me. And so we definitely, I think we need to touch bases on that too, using that word in such a negative way. Um, I just think it's so wrong. I do. And we need to talk about that a little bit. Um, I'm just going to kind of dip and dab in some things, okay? But my overall webinar is definitely going to be on um, telling you how much you're worth it. I want to build you back up. I want a lot of people who suffer with depression. I want a lot of people, and I mean, I'm just saying these are the people that I really, really want to target for my webinar. It's women, Black women who feel that they're not worthy, no matter what they do, no matter who they're with, they just don't feel worthy. I want to talk to those women. I want them to be part of our webinar. I want them to be part of a free webinar to just let me guide you a little bit. I don't want to like, you got to know this, I want to just give you something to work with, okay? Would you guys let me do that? RSVP me, okay, at Salita B. McCall at gmail.com, and I will definitely, or you know what you can do? I forgot. See, you can go on my website, youcan'tclipmywings.com, and you can go under the events page, and there should be our RSVP page already set up for you guys for the webinar. Okay? So I want you to check that out. All right, you guys? So I am getting ready to get off of here. It is late. Oh, what time is it? It's probably 10:13. Wow. So I just wanted to sit and give you that information. I'm excited. I hope you guys take time out and kind of check it out with me. Um, Definitely do this, you guys. I want to be there for you. I want to be that cheerleader that you're probably missing in your little group. I'm not going to sit here and we're not going to talk about somebody else's business in the sense of negativity. We're going to talk about us. What's affecting us? Tell me what's affecting. I'm not a therapist. I'm a certified life coach. That's all I am. I don't want anybody to think that I'm a therapist. I'm not. I'm not certified. I'm not licensed. I'm just an everyday person who's been able to help some people. Okay? I've been able to help some people. People actually call me for advice. Can you believe that? Or, Selena, what is your suggestion on this? And what do you think I could do on this? Even guys, can you believe guys call me and ask for my opinion? Yeah, they do. And I try to help them as much as I can. All right, you guys. You guys have a great night, and it was nice hanging out with you. Check you guys later. Bye-bye.